Hi.
So the
It's
shirt is
orange.
red.
Yes, it's red. Because the camera picks up as orange. It's fine.
It's weird.
It is weird.
Turn
I think it's the yellow of the interior light.
that off. I'm just curious at this point. No, it's still yellow.
It's still orange.
Yellow. Jesus. Oh, hello. Welcome to Words Have Power Murder Hour. I'm Shelly. You can turn that back on because you're like dark now. You're in the darkness.
I am the night. I am Count Dracula.
It's kind of on point for our topic this evening, actually. Really, when you think about it.
True.
All right, so today we are talking about Stalker Awareness Month.
Which is this month.
Yes. Also my birthday month. Birth month. Can everyone hear us?
Yeah, they can hear us fine. I've already been checking the audio on my earpiece.
Okay, and I totally forgot to tell everyone over on the Twitters. If I can, I forgot I was supposed to tweet out that we're going live.
We tweeted out yesterday. And the day before. And the day before. And actually breathe.
Go. You mean you're actually human? What?
Shh, not too loud.
Go. Okay. I'm getting used to all the things. Slowly but surely. It's a lot. It's a lot. But all right, so let's kick this off with, I mean, not grab the other mouse for the other laptop. My paperweight for Word doc. So this is an article from the CDC, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Yes, they do have a section about stalking because it is that much of a problem. Stalking affects millions of women and men in the U.S. Stalking occurs when someone repeatedly harasses or threatens someone else, causing fear or safety concerns. Most often, that's really loud.
You can hear that?
Yeah, I can see the colors from it.
Oh, Jesus. That's
Most often, stalking occurs by someone the victim knows or with whom they had an intimate relationship. Not always. That's not always the case. Help prevent stalking by knowing the warning signs and how to get help. Getting help is really difficult, though, if you have a stalker. I mean, unless they do something like break in your house.
yeah.
You know.
Kind of cool.
Hello, how you doing? I am furthering my goal of helping people with, who are dealing with stalkers and all of that. And I am amazed and so happy to see that there's way more information out on the internet about stalking now than there was back in the day. Because back in the day, there was nothing.
Well, the internet is more developed now. And society as a whole, somewhat.
It would just be really cool if laws would catch up with that.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There has to, at some point, I hope, be better legislation about stalking, because I mean, it shouldn't take someone breaking into your house and whatnot.
Causing you emotional harm or physical harm.
I mean, usually, a lot of the time they say, well, he hasn't actually hurt you yet physically.
Just
Yeah.
all responses to every statement.
Good job, by the way.
At least we know you're keeping track.
At least in our chat, like, you can kind of keep up. Like, oh my God, Emily D. Baker's chat. I don't even try to talk to anyone. There's just no way.
Yeah.
Like,
we're small enough. Yeah, Ohio's pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, and what's weird is like one jurisdiction will be really good with it. So like maybe this one county is really good, but the other county right next to it is really horrible. Like, man,
Yeah.
I don't know. It would be nice if there were more federal charges, I guess, and in the hopes that that would kind of make its way down to like state and local jurisdictions. That'd be great. Something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, most change starts at the federal level for the most part.
I mean, some things it goes from the bottom up, but
that's why I said for the most part, changes come from the federal before it gets to state level.
Yeah.
Like legalizing marijuana.
I hate to say it, but a lot of the time it seems like, I hate saying this, but it's true. A lot of the time, a stalking victim has to die or be murdered for law enforcement to really be like, oh, wait, or legislators, politicians, the community to see and be like, oh, wait, so this is a really serious thing, you know?
Yeah, I'm honestly not surprised by that. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of problems with the criminal justice system as it is right now in many different ways. One of them is a lack of understanding, I guess, the harder to define crimes like stalking, the war on drugs. I mean, if we took our focus off the war on drugs, which there's no winning that, that's just a lose situation. If we took our focus off that and put it onto better resources for people dealing with drug addiction and all of that,
like Portugal did.
Yeah. Then we could switch our focus to stalker crimes, domestic violence, things like that. But it's all about priorities. What are the priorities of our smaller and larger communities, really?
It's all about what can the police or sheriff's office do to make them look good and get them more money. And honestly, a war on drugs kind of generates them more revenue.
Well, I mean,
they're taking dangerous, harmful substances out of the system.
Yeah, but stalkers are dangerous, harmful people.
But here's the difference in the way the police officer, the way that it's perceived by law enforcement. One stalker is generally it's one person. It only affects one person.
That's not true, though.
I know, but that's the way that they perceive it.
Right. I mean, every stalker that I have encountered has had multiple victims. So.
The stalker almost has a pass relief to be free. Drug rate is so bad they give that. In the back, I can't pronounce the name.
Oh, Narcan, I think is the name of it.
I was thinking methadone.
No, I think she's thinking when somebody ODs. Maybe.
Okay.
You're right about a stalker almost has to pass. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'd rather see someone not die and maybe eventually recover from their addiction to whatever substance, right? Like, most people are redeemable, even, some stalkers. It's the stalkers who have erotomania and, cluster stalkers. Those are the ones that I'm like, I don't know if there's any redeeming those people. Like, they just terrorize everyone they can.
Yeah. Like, what's without a crystal Paul's name? KJ?
Yeah, that's a weird one. That's a weird one. Like, I was kind of on the fence for a minute there on if she was a stalker, but I mean, she's definitely displayed. Oh, that's okay. Don't worry about it. She definitely displayed, like, I mean, if you look at Tati Westbrook, she is gorgeous, drop dead gorgeous, and I think, and her that along with her wealth and success, and being so well liked and all these things, she is the exact opposite of KJ, right? So that's possibly what triggers her to go after someone, because all of the women she's going after are beautiful, successful, wealthy, or doing good.
And they actually get along with people and have a really good, decent fan base.
Right. I mean, she's kind of, that's just obviously to me like a jealous stalker. But it goes further than that, because she hates men. She'll go after men. She'll go after children. Any way she can cause them harm, she will. Like, one woman, I forget her name, she tried to call this woman's probation officer and get her probation revoked. That's pretty significant to try to do, I don't know. Yeah, she's, I don't know. That's just, and then, but then no matter what level of trying to understand, like, the mind of KJ, it just never stops. Like, she can be so calculated. Ember Portwood, right? Okay, that's just horrible, man. I can't even imagine doing that. Like, just because someone doesn't like you. But I don't know. That's just weird. But yeah, there's so much childishness, like, and to try to insert herself with people who have no clue who she is, nor would they care. I seriously doubt that Jeffree Star would give two shits at all about KJ. Like, he's all about wealth. If you're not wealthy, he probably doesn't even want to look at you, unless you're doing his hair or something, or mopping his floor, I don't know. That's I'm actually, the only reason I'm still keeping an eye on KJ is because there are some good people out there keeping an eye on her, and she might have an extinction burst. And if she does, it's probably going to be online, and it's probably going to be bad. And I think I have an understanding of what her pattern is now. So
I'm liking the fact that I've never watched the KJ video. I'm getting all this secondhand. So I don't know just how you're destroying her voices.
Oh my God. I can't. I can only watch the videos. Like, if they have her video, like, people play a clip of her talking, I can only watch them if, like, her voice is sped up or slowed down or, like, changed somehow. I can't.
Is that one specific pitch of her voice is what you're saying?
She's so condescending. She knows everything. You can't tell her anything. You can't, constructive criticism. how helpful that can be.
Which you should take as a writer of any kind.
This is true. But no, to her, any criticism is like soul crushing. It's like a direct attack on her.
Mm-hmm.
Even when it isn't like intended that way, and you can tell, you can tell when a person is like, hey, this is the problem if you like change it up a little bit. No. No. Just no.
The thing is, she's technically already fucked up. She's in legal trouble because she's refused to follow court-ordered. What was it?
Oh, what was it that Emily D. Baker said? It's the order to not delete your shit, or
not to delete social media.
Not to delete your shit, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
That pretty much sums it up. But yeah, no, I mean, I guarantee you there are people waiting in the wings to see what happens there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. She's done so much crazy stuff. I can't stand to listen to her voice. Jeffrey is something else. Yeah, he is, actually. That's a whole different subject.
I don't know much about Jeffree Star, but I mean, they talked about him once on Inked on one of their YouTube episodes, and that kind of was like, oh, okay. I get it.
Didn't know very much about him until, like, I don't really care about him at all. But it's just funny to me that she's somehow, some way, in any way, shape, or form, trying to latch on to anyone who is successful in any way she can. Like, sooner or later, she's going to F up. She sounds like a teenager. Yeah. I've seen that, the whole blocking or deleting anyone who has a difference of opinion, which creates a echo chamber, which is not like, you're not going to grow that way. You're not going to, I don't know, nothing good comes from an echo chamber, in my opinion.
Right. She was cutting lies like last year and said her Twitter and IG was hacked.
Oh, I'm not surprised. She cut lies all the time.
Mm-hmm.
All the time.
But she always tries to come back in the next video and like kind of correct herself what she was saying, because she doesn't ever want to be perceived in a negative light because she can never be wrong, in her opinion.
Well, then there's the whole apologize, delete the apology, decide she's going to be herself and, not bow down to anyone and apologize when she's clearly done some
fucked up shit,
really messed up things that she should be apologizing for. But what is
Never
it?
CSNW?
I'm not sure what that means.
I'm not sure what that acronym is.
I don't really do well with acronyms because I'm old.
I'm in the military, so there are some acronyms, or I was in the military. I was in the military, so there are...
Never can be wrong. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. I'm only familiar with the military acronyms.
Yeah, me too, with the military acronyms. Yeah.
FOB, JOB.
ETA.
MEPS.
Wuxia.
FUBAR.
Dad, lots of FUBAR.
FUBAR.
There's lots of FUBAR going on.
Everything's FUBAR.
So
KJ is FUBAR.
Yeah, but we're trying not to cuss, so we may use terms like FUBAR.
I'm just gonna use FUBAR from now on instead of cursing. See, we just use the keyboards.
Yeah, I mean, at least it's not like putting out stuff where you're like, the cow drank what?
Or potentially incriminating stuff like, dude, come on, why are you saying what?
Where'd you bury the body? What?
You put what in the cucumbers?
I mean, it could go way worse than it has been. I'm just saying, we will try to keep it on the pleasant side. Okay,
yeah.
so no. Okay, so we have about 1 in 6 women and 1 in 17 men have experienced stalking in their lifetimes. So with a lot of these statistics, you know, a lot of experts will be kind of hesitant with them because you never know how many people don't come forward, especially with men. Men can be really hesitant to come forward in stalker cases, in domestic violence, in SA, anything like that. So,
R. Oh, yes, SA, R, yeah.
mhm. So for men, this statistic might be off. Although I will say, with all the stalker cases I have worked, I've only had 3 or 4 male victims. All the rest have been women. So, for whatever that's worth, let's see, nearly 55% of female victims and 41% of male victims experienced stalking before the age of 25.
Not surprised.
No. And stalking, yes, stalking does impact physical and mental health of victims, very much so. I've had several victims I either was working with or had worked with who, we have to censor our words on here. So I don't even know if, hold on, if I can use the right mouse, that'd be great.
The point is to educate and empower. So we are glad you're learning a lot here. Context.
If somebody's watching the video, they'll see what I said there. I really did it. Okay. I don't like censoring my words on this subject because it's so important. And this is part of the reason I think that this needs to be taken more seriously by people in positions of authority. Oh, that's okay. Midnight snacks are always necessary, I think. I'm just of that opinion. But so yeah, so the psychological and physical harm that a stalker, like one stalker, can cause to multiple people. Like, I've had many of these stalkers that my victims were dealing with didn't just have one, it was like a one-time thing. They usually had a history of stalking and or domestic violence, and then stalking their ex-partners.
And then, or not SA as well, I'm assuming.
I mean, in some of them. But I mean, many of them. So this isn't just like one person they're harming. I think one person is one too many. That is my opinion. Especially with like cluster stalkers, they'll have more than one victim in one area, and that's a thing that happens. But now you're seeing a lot of the stalking tendencies are moving. It can be in real life, and it can be also online, or it can be a person who just stalks people online. And that online stalking can be every bit as harmful as the in real life stalking. So, yet again, I'm going to go back to KJ. Look at what she did to Tati Westbrook. Tati Westbrook's been offline, and I don't think this is just because of the case, the lawsuits. She's been offline for about a year. There's a reason for that, and whoever she has working for her on this is doing a really good job, from what I can tell, of getting her to back off from online for her mental health and well-being, but also not so as not to fuel KJ's fire anymore. KJ can't target her if she's not online. Right? So when Tati comes back online, which is probably going to happen eventually, right? Don't be surprised if KJ starts digging into Tati again in some form or fashion.
If she's not in jail by that time.
I mean, she might end up with a contempt of court charge and be remanded for that. Never know.
True.
She's been up to some shady stuff.
Yeah.
Her and or her minions. Stalkers, a lot of stalkers do. Many of them, a lot of them that I've seen, live with a family member and maybe they work some menial job. And whatever time they're not working, they're stalking their victims. Or they're independently wealthy, like trust fund babies. So they don't have to work. They can just do whatever they want. And they choose to do the most horrible thing, like one of the most horrible things. There was one guy, what was the name of that show? NCIS, with the girl, Abby, I think her name was, with the goth.
Oh,
the
yeah,
big
the one that's
tails.
like you. What? Forever Young.
I'm
NPL
not.
is shit.
Oh, well, that's true. That's true. She had a stalker, and this guy was a cluster stalker. He had several, like multiple victims. I think, if I remember correctly, at one point he was going after Ivanka Trump, and like there were other well-known people, like celebrities, he was going after, and then there were people like a woman who owned an art gallery, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
There were just so many victims, and their lives, many of them, their lives were completely disrupted. They might lose their job or their business, or because mentally understanding that you have someone who is completely removed from reality, and he can just pop up at any time. He could be in New York, or you think he's in New York, and you're in LA, but he could just show up at your work. And
That's terrifying.
yeah, and you never know what they're capable of, right? So, yeah, I really think that law enforcement, especially if you have a stalker who's moving jurisdictions to hunt down different victims, I think it would be a really good idea for different jurisdictions to work together to help the victims and to make life safe for those victims instead of just kind of being blasé about it. Well, he hasn't hurt you yet. Well, there was a starlet who had a stalker who was shot to death.
The starlet was shot to death?
Yeah, by her stalker. And that's part of the reason that there are laws in LA now.
Right.
Yeah. My oldest is 17, and I look at her, I'm like, how? How? And she's like a mini me too, so it's kind of slightly not disturbing, but it's.
If anybody's a gamer, she's like an Asari. She just uses the male genes for random genetic whatever. But she basically photocopies herself as far as genes go.
Kind of seems like it. I mean, both of my daughters look a lot like me and have my temperament.
Yeah, she's got my eyes done.
That's true. Yeah, I was surprised when how old was she? I don't remember.
She was literally 2 years younger than you.
Oh, right. I was like, wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's the pigtails or something. I don't know, but that was surprising.
I'm pretty sure even if her hair was down, like, she'd still look just as young.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she does look pretty young. But yeah, okay.
If y'all related.
I mean, with my family, I wouldn't be surprised if we were related, actually. Early 30s. Thank you.
Yeah. I've been telling her for the past 5 years that she's 26. Or that she looks like she's 26, which isn't a lie, if you ask me. We look like we're almost the same age now. My face is developing a little bit more into maturity. I have a baby face. I mean, imagine just like I shave this off and put on like a collared shirt, short sleeve, and khakis. You would think I'd be like a college student.
There's no khaki.
No
Ugh,
khakis.
God, can we not? Let's not. Let's say we did and call it good and just leave it.
Just give a normal hairstyle.
Okay, so what are some of the common things that happen with stalking? Unwanted phone calls, unwanted emails, instant messages, text messages, voice messages, social messages, just in the mail, snail mail, left at work.
Mailboxes.
Yep. On your car, like in the windshield wiper.
Mm-hmm.
That used to be a favorite way to leave messages for people.
How old do I look? Out of curiosity. We all know she looks like she's in her early 30s.
Mid-20s, I would say.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. Approaching victim or showing up unwanted, such as at victim's home, workplace, school, leaving strange or potentially threatening items for victim to find. Yeah. Watching, following, or tracking a victim, sneaking into victim's home car, and doing things to scare the victim or let them know the perpetrator had been there.
So I look older than what I actually am. That's been a consistent thing, though. Apparently, at 17, I looked like I was 21.
Oh.
No, 16, I looked like I was 21.
Shoot, at 16, I look like I was 13, maybe, if I was lucky. Yeah. I'm actually 47, so. That makes me feel good. I must be doing something all right with whatever. Oh, yeah, I stay out of the sun because I'm allergic to it.
I can't get out of the sun except on my off days.
That is true. But I mean, you're like fine in the sun, so.
I am, but it's probably going to make my skin look like shit when I'm old. My skin will be foobar.
I mean, well, you're part Mayan, though.
Peruvian, so yeah.
Okay, so.
Gorgeous.
Vampire.
She's pale enough.
Apparently.
She's got the red hair.
47. That's why I keep saying
There's
I'm.
No soul. I love you.
That's why I keep saying I'm that old vampire who's freaked out by the helicopter outside, like Lestat in Interview with the Vampire.
Mm-hmm. What is this strange technology?
Because I'm learning all this, like Twitter, and I still don't understand Instagram. Like,
you post photos.
I know, but apparently I have to do it
on your phone.
On the phone.
Yep.
Okay, we have to figure out how to do that. You're gonna have to help me.
You can do it.
If
you have Instagram installed, you should be able to do it.
Okay, we'll have to do that after this.
I have to show her what filters are. Can you believe it? Oh, sorry. No, I was about to say something that was going to be incredibly sexist, and I stopped myself.
What? Now I want to know.
So there's a thing in like pop culture now where like women on social media will always put like a filter over whatever photo that they're taking to make their skin look clearer or darker, smoother. What it basically kind of like auto does makeup for you. And I was about to say, would you believe it? A woman that doesn't use filters.
I'm not even sure exactly how. Like, I don't. Is that why everyone looks so weird on the internet?
Yeah, it's because they're using filters.
Okay. Shows you how much I pay attention to that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, we have the National Center for Victims of Crime, and they have a Stalker Resource Center. I'm so happy to see this. Like, when I first saw this, I was like, I should throw a party.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, I don't. Sometimes I actually wonder if maybe I actually am a vampire or something, because I'm gonna be 50 soon. I don't feel it. I don't know.
I mean, last time I checked, I don't have bite marks anywhere in my body, so I think.
I mean, yet. I just had dental surgery
Where
not
are
that
the
long
bodies?
ago.
Where are the bodies?
We're in Louisiana. They're probably out in the swamp somewhere.
Fuck.
New Orleans is such a weird city.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
Don't worry, all the bodies were stalkers and every other bad type of human being that there was.
I mean, and it turned out that
I
was what
understand
Lestat was doing. He was going after bad people, actually.
That makes
So
sense.
everyone thought that he was like just a cold-blooded killer, but actually he was not.
Yeah, like when he had the girl take, kind of lure the predator in the midsection of the movie. I think they were living in Europe.
That would have been Louis.
I was thinking of Louis, yeah.
Yeah, Lestat, when he had the two girls and the one he threw in the coffin, he chose them because of what they were doing to people, to innocent people.
How they were robbing them?
Yeah, and like whatnot. So, okay, so on here they have like stalking response tips, and I just like went over this real quick, and like a lot of the information on here is pretty good. And
New Orleans
then
is great fun. Drink responsibly.
yes, be careful. Yes.
Eat before you go out for a drink. Have only one hand grenade.
Oh, don't even.
Or a fishbowl.
Hand
Not
grenades
both, and never more than one.
Hand grenades are just all the like
Top shelf liquors.
runoff alcohol that is gathered, and then I'm just saying. I don't think even for $1 million, like
It's sweet.
my mom couldn't handle a hand grenade.
Because it's strong and sweet. I love Queen of the Damned. Like, okay. I'm about to make them gush. So, whenever she and I first met, I had recently watched Queen of the Damned. And I listened to that one song. What was it?
I don't know. I don't.
Sleeping so long, taking off the mask. That one?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That's all. I listened to it on repeat after we had met. Kind of just like, it reminded me of you. And then after we kind of like met up and everything else afterwards, like normally, like normal people do.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Queen of the Damned.
Yeah, but yeah, Scheiße. So yeah, online there are like just doing a simple Google search. What was this? Stalker Awareness Month is what I typed in and came up with a bunch of different. So I have a bone to pick. On the whitehouse.gov page, there used to be, I know this because maybe, I'm trying to think of when it was a few years ago, they had one of the few good resources for information about stalking on the whitehouse.gov stalker awareness page. Now it's 404 page not found.
I blame Trump.
There's nothing there. Like, but there is something in the CDC, on the CDC page. So Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, hold on, injury prevention and control, and it's stalking, know it, name it, stop it. So they have, pretty good information and different links that you can go to on here. Because chances are anyone who watches this video at some point will more than likely experience stalking on some level, either intimate partner or ex-partner stalking, or stranger stalking of some kind. So if you need this resource, just, there are resources out there. You can just do and from what I can tell from doing different kinds of searches. Hey, Leanne, how you doing?
Hi, Leanne. Go back to the CDC page. I'm gonna type in URL.
Yeah, so I did a few different kinds of Google searches, and the best one was Stalker Awareness Month. That was when a good bit of resources came up. You know, if you just type in like stalker information or stuff like that, you're not going to find things that will be helpful for you. So yeah, so it's Stalker Awareness Month. So we were talking about stalkers and a little bit about KJ and that, someone else's damn phone. I keep forgetting the camera's up there, and I keep looking over here, expecting it to be
Like
over
your phone
here.
or something. Yeah.
It's weird. Like
Yeah.
I'm not yet used to the fact that I have to stare into the blinding white light up there.
That's why I'm kind of just like looking at the screen.
Yeah. Yeah, we're just trying to get more information out
My
there.
comment not pop up?
Huh?
My comment's not up there.
There may be a delay.
Maybe. I don't know.
Cell phones are weird creatures. My cell phone has a mind of its own.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm wondering if this.
Oh, she's using text to talk to text.
Yeah. Well, spell check is. Man, I've had to do some weird things before where I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Not at all what I meant. Let's see. There are actually some really good resources on this National Center for Victims of Crime for stalking, like with domestic violence stalking. A guide for supervised visitation and safe exchange programs. Right on. I mean, at least there's more information getting out there.
Mm-hmm.
Like back in the day, there was just nothing, really. That's funny. You guys.
Everybody's thinking on the same wavelength.
Yeah. Half the time I try not to use spell check if I can help it, just because.
All right, I'm your spell check.
Let's see. And then,
how often have I been asked, how do you spell this word?
Yeah, right. Common type of stalker. That's a hard one. Erotomania is the one that you usually see the most in the news because, a lot of mainstream media views that as it's this sexy and salacious and it's, an attention grabber or whatever. And I get that, but or if it's attached to a celebrity somehow. So who's that one woman? She's really popular. She was married to a biker guy who worked on cars.
Talking about Jesse? Jesse's the guy. I don't remember the wife.
I can't remember her name. So there was a woman celebrity who had her house broken into and she hid in a closet and had her phone with her, thankfully. That made the news.
Van.
or the Madonna had a couple different stalkers, or when a celebrity has a stalker come after them, then that will make the news. Like, it just seems like mainstream media doesn't really pay attention to the stalker who is not quite that aggressive, or not going after a celebrity. If it's just like a bank teller down the street, you're not going to hear about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you look at BTK, he was a stalker. He would see someone somewhere, he would stalk them, he would follow them home, figure out their patterns. He was a stalker. He hunted his prey. That's how he actually spoke of his victims. Yeah, I mean, mainstream media really needs to start thinking about how they do things. Like, I don't know. I have a bone to pick with how they do their headlines when it pertains to victims of violent or sexual crime. How they talk about women and children and
Saw
all of
one on
that.
Facebook the other day.
Huh?
I saw one on Facebook the other day.
I've been actually staying away from Facebook because half the time the headlines and all that just make me angry.
And I'm actually going to go see if I can find it. I think I remember who posted it.
Remember that lady I told you about that has this? Has what? Wait, what? You're going to have to...
Context. Yeah.
I was on Facebook briefly today, and I saw one that I was just like, I had just gotten on Facebook. I see this headline, and I'm like, nope. And I just clicked off. But there was one good thing that I found that actually made me really happy. They belittle the victims, give too much information, or not enough to know. Yeah, that's true. That is true. And the media has an influence on how people view things too. So the erotomania, I almost always spell it wrong too. So it's all good.
I went looking for one thing and found something else.
She made those videos about the narcissist self-help guy. Right. What's up? Wow.
On a date.
Well, that didn't go well.
No, obviously it didn't go well. Like, she wasn't enjoying it at all. But apparently it's her fault. You want me to read that title? So everybody can
No,
get
it's not even. Let's stick to topic.
Okay.
Okay, so I found something. She thinks he's talking to her through his... Oh, right. That is not good. The one that moved closer to him. That's not good. That's not good.
Her who?
Okay, so there's this guy who makes videos about narcissists and whatnot. And he has a super fan who thinks that he is talking to her in particular through his videos.
That kind of person.
Yeah, so that would be, yes, it's erotomania, but I've had quite a few victims who have that kind of stalker, and a lot of the time, I mean, not always, but quite a few of those were schizophrenic and they were off their meds. She claims to have been his sex slave. Wow.
Yeah, we figured what you meant.
Okay. Okay.
It's.
I mean, that definitely sounds delusional, and that would fall under erotomania.
The first part of that, my brain made it an interesting association that I'm just going to keep to myself.
So with a lot of the different kinds of stalkers, no. I get you.
Don't take
It's
it.
fine. With a lot of the different categories of stalking, there are kind of subcategories that, I mean, because I've worked on so many cases, stalker cases, after a while you kind of see that, so with erotomania, there are a lot of the time there could be a stalker who wants to be in a relationship, typically in a sexual relationship with their victim, and or they may also want to be their victim. So there, it's not always going to be just one thing, and that one stalker could also have could exhibit different kinds of stalking with different people. So let's say the stalker has an erotomania fixation on their victim, and their victim has a PA, a personal assistant or something, that the stalker is jealous of for whatever reason, right? So they could decide, well, to stalk that PA, and that would be more of a jealousy, like rage stalking, right? So one stalker can exhibit different kinds of stalking behavior, which, any way you look at it, is just creepy. Like, to me, I find all stalking creepy and whatnot. But, huh?
No pop in chat. Because if I sing it, we're demonetized.
Yeah, don't do that. I mean, we're not monetized.
I know, but
we're not anywhere near being monetized. What are you talking about?
Just starting the habit.
True. Yeah, what's funny is if you look at a lot of like music and movies and stuff, you'll see stalking brought up in different media. Like, I mean, celebrities have been dealing with stalking for,
Michael Jackson's Billie Jean.
Yeah, right. Oh. Okay, so one thing that I found just from this basic search was stalking incident and behavior log. I cannot tell you how happy I am to see things like this online. So 7.5 million people are stalked each year. And it has different, different information. And this is the stuff of my dreams.
I literally have a log for you to fill out. Date, time, description of incident, which looks like just a small thing, but I assume you can write down words.
I would change this up. Okay, what I would do is, yes, you want the date, time, location. See, I would move location over here with the date and time.
Yeah. That's more important.
And I wouldn't even put like the police and officer and all that right there. Because you can put that in a different spot. Like, I would change this up a little bit, but
I would personally write this out more like a report log, like a one incident report log, and then have it in like a stack.
That's what I used to do.
Yeah.
Right. I see what you're saying. But what I'm saying is like, a lot of time things like these are made by people who maybe haven't worked all that many cases. And I'm going to have to put together, like with the binders that we have, I want to put together like a faux Can you check her?
Yep.
I'm going to put together a faux incident log and document binder to kind of show people who are dealing with a stalker how to go about doing it. But this is a really good thing to see online for people who need help. And this is stalkingawareness.org. And it's a PDF file that you can download. And they have, kind of the beginning of how to do this, right there. So, but if you do an incident log, and if there is material kind of attached to that, so let's say you have a stalker who's sending you 100 emails a day, then you want to take those emails, put them into a file to save them, then put that file into a flash drive, and you can go to like Office Depot, Kinko's, whatever. Have all that printed out. It'll probably end up being cheaper than if you use your printer at home, because printer ink is expensive. Print all of that material out, and then what I usually do is number each of the emails. So let's say you have 100 in one day. That's all going to be one incident for just one day, right? Just because that's a lot of material. So in your incident log, then you go through, you write down date, time, location, all of that, a small synopsis of what happened. And then if you have any emails that are threatening to cause great bodily harm or SA or anything like that, then you would kind of, that's why I usually have two binders. The ones that are the most distressing, you put at the top, and then in the other binder, you just have them according to the time they came in. So it's chronological order. Close the door?
She's in the bedroom.
In our bedroom?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She was on Antipathesion.
Right. Okay, so you'll have the the two binders. One is in chronological order, and the other is in order of threat.
Descending, highest threat top.
Right, and then also with those two binders, you have your incident log. So how I usually do it is when we're to the point where the victim has material that they can present to law enforcement, whatever, I usually like to take that material with the victim to their local headquarters, right? And how I, approach usually it's a desk clerk, someone like that at the desk, and I'm like, we would like to speak with a detective who deals with stalking. Or if it's domestic violence, domestic violence stalking, right? And when they're like, oh, well, you have to speak with whatever, beat cop, whatever, and then you have this box of material with you, right? And you're like, do you think that this beat cop is going to have time for all this? I think not. Because
just do the old.
Because most beat cops are not going to have enough training. They're not paid enough to deal with everything that they deal with on a day-to-day basis, really. So if you try to talk to a detective, they're probably going to be a little bit more proactive about helping, really.
Screenshots, print everything, anything that shows connection from...
Hold on. Okay, so for people being attacked via Twitter or email, is there extra computer techie stuff you should write down with the incidents? So this is where I say, if it's via social media, Screenshot everything and save it. Try to save it to where you have a good timeline of prior to the material happening, and you can show the progression. And if you can somehow take a video of it where there's a timestamp on that video also, because screenshots and all that can be faked, right? So if you take a video of it, you know, that's going to show the progression of everything. So if you have two cell phones and you're going through Twitter and somebody's threatening to do horrible things to you and your family or whatever, scroll through and show that it is in fact on Twitter, and you're recording on one phone as you're scrolling through the other phone. And that video that you take can then become evidence as well, along with the screenshots. And also, if you have witnesses who also have their screenshots, then you're going to have multiple different, screenshots from different sources, right?
And then take that, put it on the computer, save it, put it on a hard drive,
flash drive
as well.
And also, external hard drives are awesome too. Yeah, I mean, anything that you can save. If you are being stalked, if you're being cyber stalked, in real life or online, whichever. I mean, now, like, we have a Ring Cam, and I love that thing because you can take clips and put it on your computer. And you can, I wish we'd had that back in the day for my victims, because there were times the one woman, her driveway, it was a weird driveway. What should have been her front yard was actually her driveway. And we had to rig a security camera system. But we had to do it in a way that he wouldn't see it, because he was really smart and he would have evaded that camera. But it took forever, and we had to drill a hole, and it was like, now you just have this little tiny friggin' man. We are lucky in this day and age to a degree. Like, I don't know. Technology, it has improved for the better. It has also improved for the not so better. Like with KJ and all the attempts at hacking and oh Lord. Yeah. We have a neighbor who has this little spy cams on his house. You can't even see them. I had a conversation with him about it. And he's got them going around. Like, that is amazing.
Yep.
And I don't know why I find little spy cams like that and whatnot, like, so attractive. What is that? But
you're a technophobe? I don't know.
Probably. So yeah. So I have a feeling with someone like KJ, if she has an extinction burst, it's probably mostly going to be online, and it's probably going to entail all kinds of hacking and.
I mean, worse than what she is right now.
Probably. I think she may be actually having small extinction bursts right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping there's not an escalation.
Yeah.
I don't know. But see, there are periods of quietness. Right now, we're in a period of quietness. So. I mean, it's obvious she has people who are willing to do stuff for her that they really should not be doing, because these things are illegal. Hacking, doxing, targeted attacks like that online are illegal. Mass flagging is against terms of service. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on that if, she's trying to throw people under the bus, but if these people that she's throwing under the bus come up with concrete proof of any of that, then her career is over.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not going to end well for her.
Right.
Especially with the hacking and the doxing.
Yeah.
I mean, really, her defamation case, the case that was brought against her by Tati. I mean, when you think about it, she was releasing information that, while it may have been public documents, that's personal, private information. So in a way, I think she's lucky she didn't grab on something that she shouldn't have, because that would have probably ended up being a criminal charge instead of civil. I don't know. She, as intelligent as she appears to be, she's not really all that intelligent. I don't get the birth certificate thing at all. Why? Why go there? That is so unnecessary. That is so ridiculous. I mean, even if she were a journalist, that would still be completely unprofessional. As I just don't understand. I don't understand. I've known actual investigative journalists who wouldn't have done that. Because why? What information is that actually going to be that is concrete value that will actually really be useful, other than to say, well, I dug up her birth certificate? Why? She got it through Ancestry. Yeah, no, she didn't. Yeah, it's, even still, I don't think they give out, if I remember correctly, I mean, I could be completely wrong, but I thought you could only go through your own Ancestry or whatever, unless you're like working for someone else, or I don't know. I don't know how that works. But I do know that's weird and not right. That's just not right. Like, I mean, if you're trying to investigate someone for crimes, fine. If you're looking at a company to see if they, if they're making product that is actually pointless, fine. Whatever, that's fine. But to look into someone's father's life, what? And then say that he might have been in the mafia? Okay, so I don't know if Tati Westbrook is Italian or not, but so you're going to be speaking derogatory of Italian people everywhere like that? What? That's just so rude. I think she was looking for blackmail material, definitely. And I think she does that quite often, quite a bit.
KJ?
Oh, yeah. Blackmail material?
I'm not surprised.
I wouldn't put it past her. Even a little bit. I mean, she just seems, and she may not even realize it, but she comes off as being she tries to act like she's the nice kind of woman next door or whatever, but she's really nefarious. There's a pit of snakes. And just no, like venomous snakes. I like snakes, but not that kind of snake. That's okay, no.
Prefer pythons to cobras.
Human snakes, no. No washishu for me, no.
Washishu.
Yes, it's a Cherokee thing.
Right. Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is a pattern. She has a pattern. She has several, actually. Several patterns. And right now she's in her quiet phase. But wait for it. There will be more. I'm trying to keep up with all of it, but it is so confusing. Like this last document Over 200 friggin' pages. I wonder how a judge is going to respond to that. I wonder how that judge, who has page limits set for her courtroom, her domain, her court, right, has rules. There are rules. I kind of want to be a deputy working in that courtroom, but then I don't at the same time, because when judges get angry, they'll do this thing where they'll look at their deputies and be like, and you're like, I got no control over anything that these people are doing. Like, it is a really uncomfortable place to be. I don't know. I don't understand the need for over 200 pages in a legal document like that when it's like they're just trying to get the case expunged for jurisdiction. I mean, she might be talking her way directly into losing the whole jurisdiction thing because of how she's behaving. Because of her lawyer or her whatever. Wrong way to go about doing things. Yeah, most judges. I mean, because you got to think that now their courtroom is going to be excessively tied up when it shouldn't have to be. And they have other cases. So, I don't even know what to think of Lori Ann. I know if she doesn't watch it, she'll end up with a contempt of court charge too.
Who's Lori Ann?
That is so complicated. Lori Ann was a minion, a stan, if you will, of KJ. And apparently KJ had her doing nefarious things for KJ, but then supposedly KJ's trying to say that she didn't, but then you don't know what's true or what's not true. Birds of a feather kind of thing. So if Lori Ann is like KJ, are they both full of it? I don't know.
Right.
No one's going to know until all this comes out in court.
Right. I get you.
I mean, basically. Oh, wow. Okay. So she's that type. All right.
Sad people.
I mean, I don't even understand that. But what do you get from bullying people online? Unless it's like James Soroka or Davi Vanity or Onision.
People who are fucked up pieces of shit and you're just calling them out and they're bull.
We're trying not to cuss.
Oh, people who are foobar.
Yes. That's different.
I'm going to have to condition myself to say foobar.
Yes. Me too. That's going to be hard. But anyway, you know, and that's not even bullying. That's shedding light on something that is very serious, right? So, but I don't understand the whole going into chats and bullying people. That makes no sense to me. Simply because they don't like someone. I mean, don't people have lives? What? Okay.
Couldn't afford postage. Has 3 kids. And then still send a super chat to someone.
I thought she was retired. I am so confused. I get so confused with all the... It's not even high school level foobar-ish behavior. It is not even elementary school. I don't even know. It's just beyond childish, really. It's a whole lot of people who need to take up hobbies that don't have to do with online effery. Just saying. Learn to crochet. Learn to do stained glass. I don't know.
New term. Foobarery.
Just arguing for the sake of it. Wow, okay. I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm weird. I've never been a stan of someone to the point of, I figure a grown person can stand up for themselves. They don't need me to do that for them. You know, and if they do, well, they have bigger problems. Like, you know, like, I don't know. Unless it's a child. That's a whole different subject. You know. I would definitely stand up for a child online.
Oh, yeah.
But Like, for example, I do like Emily D. Baker. Okay. But I'm not going to sit there and ridicule someone because they don't like her. I'll just be like, whatevs.
No, she's able to defend herself. She's an intelligent,
Well,
active woman.
not everyone's going to like the same thing. So, yeah, I can't believe it either. And it's a lot of it is traceable. It is verifiable. It is tangible, which means it's not going to look good in court for KJ. It's not. She may think that she's gonna be fine and whatever. Well, she also thought she wasn't gonna be sued either. So,
and look how that turned out.
Yeah, but quite often, people with certain kinds of pathology, they don't see how toxic their behavior is, right? So, I don't know. Well, we have 5 people in here.
Yeah, we've been alternating between 4 and 5 for a while. Then when she does flame out the people around her, no.
I mean, I wouldn't. A lot from what I've seen, much of her behavior has been targeted to people online. So I don't know if she'd go so far as to actually physically harm someone, and I wouldn't say that. Like, I'd have to see a history of like police reports, incident reports, etc. Like a history of actual in real life crimes for me to say that she would be dangerous to people around here. But you never know how a person can respond if they're going to have an extinction burst. Like, her pattern seems to be online. That's why I say it'll probably be online. If she had a pattern offline as well, then I would say, heads up, install those security cams, get yourself a Ring cam. We got ours for Christmas. Yep. So, yeah. Now that's a really useful present right there for Christmas.
It's Mater in Dutch?
Mater?
Mater.
I think, I'm not sure. So yeah, I don't know if she would, go after people in real life, like physically. But I mean, she does seem to like wherever she goes online, drama and chaos and harm seems to follow, right? So yeah, that one video that I saw of him coming in and just obviously needing her attention was so sad. It was so sad. It was heartbreaking. Little man just wanted some attention. I mean, I don't care if I'm on a stream, if little baby girl needs my attention. I love y'all, but
when I'm not here,
y'all take the back seat. Yeah. That's just.
But I'm here. I can go do it.
Yeah.
Same whenever I'm streaming and you're doing something.
Yeah.
And the baby girl's up here.
Yep. All right, so.
I think I left stream 3 or 4 times last night to take care of baby girl. Something.
Yeah, I slept so much.
Endometriosis is a B.
And then just on top of it, life has been.
Yeah, pretty hectic for you lately.
Painful in many ways, but.
Love. I love.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think she understands what the normal way to be is, though. I mean, she kind of forms friendships with people or acquaintances. Usually you start off as an acquaintance, you get to know each other, yada yada, and then friendship has a chance to form, right? But she always somehow things go off the rails and she always ends up like backstabbing people. I mean, yeah.
Remember how her husband is a musician?
Yeah.
And he had that one song called Father. And I remember I listened to it all the way through, and I kind of thought it was about him calling out for Odin. Now, after kind of witnessing this bit of the conversation and then bringing this up, but I think her husband kind of understands how their child feels.
Mm.
And so I think, in a way, kind of that song is him is kind of like speaking out, like understanding how their child feels. Because if he's off doing whatever with the band,
I mean, I don't think he doesn't seem to spend much time with the band though, especially since there's a pandemic. But I don't really want to talk about their child very much. That's not.
Yeah. I understand that. I think that the father realizes exactly just how much attention the child is needing but not getting from the mother.
Right. Okay, so yeah, so I mean, if you're being stalked, doesn't matter if it's in real life, online, or a combination of the two. If you're having like weird hacking, whatever kind of thing, remember to, it can be a pain when you begin creating your log and all of that and documenting everything, but it is really important that you take those steps. And for every single victim I've worked with, they've always felt kind of like, at first it's irritating, but then after a while they feel this sense of personal control, that they're regaining their personal control. And it just helps them to actually see that it's not all in their mind. They're not, just overly sensitive or, making something out of nothing or whatever. So if you're out there and you have a stalker, and when you have a stalker, you have that feeling of, this is wrong. This makes me uncomfortable. I'm not happy with this. If you have that feeling, you're having that feeling for a reason. And remember, do not negotiate or try to bargain with a stalker ever. It's just, no. Do not ever expect them to rationally understand that you want them to leave you alone. Usually, what I tell people is, have you told that stalker to leave you alone? And if they say yes, then I say, leave it at that. Say nothing else to them. Don't say hi, bye, or F you. Don't say anything. Because even if you start raging at them and telling them off, you're still giving them attention. Any attention is good attention, even negative attention. So you don't want to give them anything. I've seen cases where, like, one case, the stalker was like, well, if you meet up with me for coffee once a month, I'll leave you alone the rest of the month. By the time she got to us, she was seeing that stalker once a week. And it would have ended up being once a day or twice a day. So anything, any amount of attention that they can get from their victim, they will take, and then they will force more from the victim, more attention from the victim. Not always. Not always. I mean, I know of a case where the victim was a waitress and she'd never talked to the stalker. Didn't know his name, didn't know anything about him, didn't even know he was stalking her because he was so low key about it. You know, it can be a fellow student on a college campus. It can be a customer comes into a bank and the victim's a bank teller or bank manager or something. It can be a fast food worker. And person comes through the, the
Drive-through.
drive-through, right. It isn't always someone that you know, or it can be a friend of a friend, and you meet one time, but in that person's mind, you met that one time, but you're meant to be together because the archangel Michael. Yeah,
You have that example.
but it's true.
It's true.
I've seen that so many times. It's amazing how much these archangels get around, man.
I thought they were supposed to be rare.
Yeah.
And why is it Michael?
I've heard Michael, Gabriel, and a few others. God, Satan.
Why would you listen to Satan in the first place if you're a Christian?
I don't know.
The devil told me to follow you.
It is actually, yeah. It is. So for a stalker victim who doesn't know who their stalker is, and they're just getting notes like left on their car or cyber, you don't, maybe the handle that they use, but you don't know what their actual identity is, right?
They're not using a real profile photo.
Right. It is scary because for that victim, a lot of the time, what they said to me is, I could be in a checkout line at a grocery store, my stalker could be directly behind me and I wouldn't even know. And what if they have a gun? Or, what if they follow me home? Or, it's just terrifying. And that stalker victim is constantly having the rug ripped out from underneath them. And it has an effect on how they view the world around them and people around them. It has a huge effect on mental health. Relationships, interpersonal relationships can go drastically downhill. I've seen a lot of victims who ended up divorced. Their partner might have, decided they must have done something to make this happen, even though, no, you don't have to do a damn thing. You can walk across the street and somebody can decide,
That whole, in their mind, love at first sight thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Or just predator and prey, like BTK.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't love his victims. They were just his prey.
Yeah.
You can't know unless you can come up with some sort of proof, right? And that's where security cams and witnesses and all of that. That's why I say, if you are a victim of stalking, do not self-isolate. Tell everyone you have a stalker. Let them know what's going on, because the more people who are aware of what's going on to you, let's say you have a stalker in real life. This is a case I'm actually talking about. You have a stalker in real life, and this person is leaving messages and whatnot on your car, on your windshield wiper of your car, or they're breaking into your car and leaving gifts and whatnot. Maybe one of your coworkers happens to look out a window or be walking into work and sees that person, and you have a security cam, and that coworker writes down the time of when they were coming in. Well, then you can get footage from the CCTV footage, get an image of who that is, and try to figure out who that is. But also, when you have that, someone breaking and entering into your vehicle, especially depending on your jurisdiction, that could be considered an extension of your home, your property. So then that kicks it up a notch. So then maybe you can get law enforcement to do fingerprints on your vehicle, right? So we had a victim who was going through that, and we washed down her car, like fine detail washing, right? So the next time he did that, and we purposefully parked the car right in line of sight of a security cam, and we had one of our guys just kind of hanging out there, to keep an eye, and it worked. He put his hands on the car, left his prints all over the place. He actually entered the vehicle. So we had video proof. We had a witness. And then she also had 2 coworkers who were looking out a window at the same time and saw it. So that's 3 witnesses. Then we also got fingerprints from him touching the inside of the vehicle, which she didn't actually know him. So there was no reason for him to be in her vehicle. So, yeah, it is a lot better now. Now, I heard of a recent case that I did not work on, but this woman was so smart. She had a stalker and she knew someone was breaking into her car. She fingerprinted her own vehicle. And she got someone to run the prints. That is a badass woman right there. Like, she's like, oh, the cops aren't going to do anything? I'll handle up on that then. She did a damn good job, man.
Be resourceful. Be resourceful.
She did too. I was like, man, that's a woman after my own heart right there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
I mean,
that's just you and another body.
Yeah, right? Yeah. I don't know. Somebody asked me what I would do if I had a stalker, and I was like, that would be funny.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
What?
10, 11, 12.
I'm really not the one.
Tools.
I mean,
Tools to use on a stalker.
I build cases against stalkers, and if there's something I don't know how to do, I'm sure I know someone who does know how to do it. So, and the thumbs. Yes, there is that. Yeah. Yeah.
I wrap them in my own hand.
Dope.
You're not taking my thumbs. Nope, they're mine.
Yeah, but I'd rather not get violent if I don't have to. That's an expenditure of energy that if I don't have to, I don't want to. Unless I'm really angry. Yeah. I don't know. Okay, so we have talked about Stalker Awareness Month. Is there anything anyone else wants to talk about? Because I haven't been on for a couple days.
Hello, everyone silently watching in the background. I think there's one.
I know for a minute there, it seemed like everyone was doing lives, and I was like, I'm not even going to try to compete with this. Like,
No, compete.
We're up to 65, 66 subscribers. 66.
66?
Yeah.
Damn, that was
I
2 in
know.
a day. Check that out.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You reported yourself. What?
I didn't see anything.
I didn't see anything either. What are you talking about? You can report someone on here? The things you learn. Let me see.
The more you know.
Oh, wait. I just saw something. Add moderator.
Yeah.
Woohoo! We have our first moderator.
It is I, Moderator Marcus. A pleasure to make your acquaintance.
We're getting big over here. Oh my god, dude. What? I was hoping Butterfly Kisses would come on. I'm hoping she's doing all right.
Yeah. Progress report from her would be nice.
Well, if we see something, we'll just disregard it.
Yeah.
That's funny, though. You reported yourself. That's something I would do and be like, what did I just do? What's happening?
Undo.
Wait, what? It's like I was doing something. Oh, back when I was in college, I was at the very end of writing a very long paper. And you know how you kind of, your brain turns a bit to jelly when you're writing like a very technical paper. And I came so close to deleting that paper. Like, it's one of those things where you just sit down, stop what you're doing, sit down, and just like cry it out for a minute. That was almost really bad. Okay. Well, thank you. I mean, we're trying to do some good in the world, which seems to be the opposite of what many people do on YouTube. Wow.
It's chaos.
It is. Wow. Just wow. So I'm looking.
What is Ryan Reynolds doing as letter A?
I don't know. I'm just wondering why Deadpool is dressed like an A. That's kind of hurting my brain. There was some stuff on Twitter about stalking, and
Today's broadcast brought to you by the letter A for asinine.
I mean, that's a lot of what happens on YouTube. I'm like, what the hell?
That would be something that Deadpool would say too.
That would be. Yes.
Mentioned in the comment, just the infomercial. Today's comic was brought to you by the letter A for asinine.
Lately, I've been watching Hannibal.
Again.
Of course. And I'm like, man, this is so much more like calming than YouTube.
I'm gonna put myself on blast here for a minute. It wasn't until like after Sure and I have worked together for like 2 years that I discovered that Hannibal Lecter was not a real person.
I'm so glad Hannibal Lecter is not a real person, okay?
And I've said many, many times, I'd like to interview that guy for like psychology reasons, and nobody ever told me that he's not a real person.
No, you would not want to interview Hannibal. No.
I do.
No.
I do.
Yes. And that's saying a lot because, that series can get pretty sketchy, pretty hairy, pretty
Dark.
scary. Oh, yeah. Yes. Very. Wow.
Remember the origin movie for Hannibal? Hannibal Rising?
So painful to watch. I can't watch that one as much. Anything that shows children being harmed, I can't.
Yeah. As dark as it was, I couldn't get enough of it. I couldn't look away.
The series is just so, like, the music and the cinematography and the casting, it was just perfectly done. But okay, how do I?
What are you trying to do?
I had shared some Stalker awareness tweets.
Go onto your page.
Wait,
Go onto your page.
I don't know how.
The little person thingy on the left.
Oh. Okay.
Tweets and replies.
Yeah. Yeah, they did a really good job with that series. At first I was like, I know they have Starling as another spinoff, I guess. I'm hoping they do as good a job with Starling as they did with Hannibal. Because that was an interesting character anyway. But
I remember Daily.
Huh?
Daily?
What?
Do you remember Daily?
Yes.
Okay. A couple years ago, they were in a hotel room and they looked in the drawer where they normally put the Bibles, and in the Bible was the quote, "To Starling."
Oh, that's not creepy.
Right.
So the majority of stalking victims experience both in-person stalking and technology-facilitated stalking. Yep. And that was from National Stalking Awareness Month.
Stalkingawareness.org.
Yeah. Let's see. All right, covered that. Yeah, there's a bunch of resources like on Twitter, just all over the place now, which is really good. I'm glad to see that. So.
Bye. See you next time, Leanne.
All right, on. Have a good night. I'm gonna try to be on maybe again tomorrow. Also, thank you for showing up. Hey, Theater Vamp, how you doing?
Heyo.
Oh, right here is what I was gonna do. Insomnia. Right on. Insomnia sucks.
Yeah.
So on your next day off, I want to do the paranormal thing.
Okay. Are we still doing live right now? Because I think we're the only two watching. Oh, no, wait. Sean's here. Still. Okay.
Weird.
Very weird. Oh.
I mean, she does.
Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, we talked about stalking. It's Stalker Awareness Month, so we're just going over stalker stuff.
Yep.
Fun times. Fun times. Stalkers are never fun.
Okay.
So. Do. Yeah, we covered a bunch of different resources and whatnot for victims of stalking and all that good junk. Just chatting. Thought I had other things, but whatever. Not worried about it. Alrighty, how y'all doing down there? I mean, it depends on the stalker. Some of them like their victims to be aware. Like they enjoy the
Power trip.
Yeah. And watching the havoc that they cause like unfold. Really creepy. It's been almost 2 hours.
Yeah. You should probably go and get some sleep then, Theater Vamp.
Yeah. Sleep deprivation is never a good thing. It does suck.
I crashed today because of the lack of sleep I gave myself last night. I crashed in the little one's castle. Oh, that's good.
We've been on for about almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
And at this time, I don't know if we're going to get anyone else on here, but,
Yeah, midnight.
Huh?
Yeah, midnight.
Yeah, I want to start doing videos earlier in the day. Yeah, right on. We both probably have to go to sleep like very shortly after we end this, though.
Yeah, I gotta be at work for 10 tomorrow.
Right on, right on. And I gotta be able to get up at a
Decent time.
second notice with baby girl.
Mm-hmm.
Fun.
I still got to get a little bit of my stream in tonight.
Oh, right on. Then we do have to go. All right. Thank you for stopping by, though.
Lovely seeing you supporting.
So yeah, so to everyone who comes on here, if you are a victim of stalking, there are resources out there to help. There's information. We're going to be doing, I will be doing a series of videos on building your case against your stalker, speaking with law enforcement, speaking with people in general, because it can be hard sometimes if someone has never had a stalker, getting them to understand the realities that you're dealing with, all of that. Also, therapy, trauma therapy is best. If you are the victim of a stalker, therapy will help tremendously. So yeah, if you need help, you can jump on a live stream. I'm gonna try to do a live stream a day, but I do have a 3-year-old, so that can be difficult. We have our email in our bio. You can definitely send an email if you don't want to, publicly say, "Hey, I need help." You can send an email.
You can keep it private and confidential.
Yes. It's pretty rare for me to charge to help someone with a stalker case because the majority of the victims of stalkers out there there's no way they could afford to pay for help with that.
Right.
So yeah, probably be back tomorrow, maybe talking a bit more on stalkers and what it's like to be stalked, just for Stalker Awareness Month. So yeah, stop by, say hi. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, follow, comment, do all the things. All of that helps with the algorithm, which helps get the videos up. If somebody types in what to do if you have a stalker, I really want those videos to get up to where they will be there if someone needs them, because there isn't really all that much to help victims of stalking on YouTube, from what I can tell. So yeah, all right, y'all. We will see y'all later. Bye.
Bye.
There was no bye, Felicia, this time. Oh, remember, you have the right to say no. Your no should be respected. Those 2 things.
And if they're not, bye, Felicia.
Every time you say that, makes me laugh. All right. Bye.
Bye.